Hello, and welcome to another devotional connection. There is a story I absolutely love about a rich woman in a place called Shunem, found in 2 Kings chapter 4. In this story, this well to do woman constructs a room in her house where God's prophet Elisha can come and stay whenever he's in town. On one of the visits, when Elisha was there, he prophesied that this woman, who was childless and whose husband was very old, would have a child, and a year later it was so. When the boy got older, he inexplicably became sick and died. The mother picked up her child of promise, placed him on the bed that Elisha was using, and sought him out. Elisha and his servant came back, and Elisha went into the room, and God brought the child back to life. In 2 Kings chapter 8, this same woman is back again, this time having gone to Philistia on the word of Elisha to avoid famine for 7 years. Once the famine is over, she returns home to find out that someone has taken up residence in her home and taken possession of her land. She is headed to appeal the situation to King Jehoram for resolution. Unbeknownst to her, the king has currently taken audience with Elisha's servant Gehazi, and he is regaling tales of Elisha and his actions. The Bible says in verse 5 and 6 that while Gehazi was telling the tale of the woman and her son, whom God used Elisha to raise from the dead, in walks the very woman and her son. She cries out to the king for her house and her land, and Gehazi tells the king, "My lord, O king, this is the woman and this is her son whom Elisha restored to life." The king sees her, appoints her an officer, and tells him to restore all that was taken from her from the day she left until now. I am amazed by God, and it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, think of the timing of this story. Think of all that had to go right or wrong on her journey for her to show up and cry out just as Gehazi was telling the king her very story. God's timing is so flawless. It always is. Our job is to be obedient and follow his commands. It's not easy. Looking back, we can see God's hand in this woman's life every step of the way, but you and I both know that it often doesn't look like that way at the moment. Obedience to the King of Kings must be a way of life, but it only stems from trusting him completely and in all things. Go back and remember what God has done for you. Go back and remember how he has blessed you over and over again. Do not look or be surprised because he asks you to do things that you don't understand now. Because how many times have we looked back and said, "Wow, I see God's hand all the way through it." Talk to you again soon.